Governments need to re-evaluate how they fund the groups and institutions that help women and girls in society. This from President of the Industrial Court, Deborah Thomas-Felix. Mrs. Thomas-Felix participated in a webinar on the International Labour Organization's latest convention on violence and sexual harassment, C190, as part of the International Women's Day observation. Monday's webinar focused on the implications and imperatives for the Caribbean of the ILO's Violence and Harassment Convention.
Create policies within their countries which make domestic violence shelters, hospitals, public education, and women's healthcare priorities, which attract the same type of injection of funding as do bridges, highways, roads, and stadia.
Head of the Labour Studies at the Cipriani College of Labour and Cooperative Studies, Ian Daniel, noted that addressing these issues will have a far-reaching impact.
When you start attacking an issue in the context of work, the effects don't remain in work. The effects ripple out and go into other areas. Affecting work affects family. Affecting work affects society. Affecting work affects economy.
Meanwhile, Regional Secretary of Public Services International, Sandra Massiah, called on the labor movement to step up.
The first group of people I would strongly suggest who should ensure that they have workplace policies that take into consideration and reflect the provisions of C190 and R206 are the various trade unions.
ILO C190 and R206 are currently being reviewed by the Ministry of Labour after having been submitted to both the House of Representatives and the Senate, as well as the ILO Tripartite Consultative Committee. According to statistics from the United Nations, incidents of domestic violence and sexual harassment have intensified during the COVID-19 pandemic. This is why Industrial Court President Deborah Thomas-Felix said regional leaders need to do some re-evaluation.